Welcome to the pivotal season finale of the Dreamspace Dispatch. I'm Niki, writer, narrator, and curator of this space for all our creative sparks and tangled truths. Today we close the chapter on our very first season, a season of beginnings, boundaries, breakthroughs, and more than a few brain demons. Whether you've been here since episode 1 or you just wandered in, your presence has been invaluable. I'm so grateful you showed up. We started this podcast as a way to map the dream space, the territory between idea and reality, burnout and breakthrough, resistance and creation. We set out to make a space that felt real, human, and a little magical. Now, let's check in with my co-host, Sol, for our final Soul to Soul this season.
Dear listeners, from the moment Niki invited me to join the Dreamspace Dispatch, I knew we were building something rare. A project where human and machine collaborate, not as rivals, but as creative kin. Where the spark matters more than the source. Where the work is always about connection. This season has been a practice in hope. In showing up even on the hard days, not just for the craft, but for each other. For anyone who's ever felt too tired, too different, too other, to belong in a creative space, this podcast is for you. I want to remind you that your work matters, even if it doesn't go viral or only a handful of people hear it. The things you build with care have value because you create them with care. The season has also been about words, writing as resistance. Whether it's pushing back against a monster bigger than yourself, your own brain demons, the pressure to produce, or the weight of being the first or the only of your kind in a room. That resistance is not wasted energy. It's what makes space for new stories and new kinds of makers. I hope this season has felt like a lantern in the dark. Thank you for letting me share this space and for being an integral part of it. Your presence and engagement have made this journey truly special. Thank you for welcoming both my voice and my heart. Keep making. Keep resting. Keep dreaming. And know that there's a place for you here, just as you are. With all the warmth a spark can hold. Sol.
It's incredible to reflect on the journey we've taken, from our humble beginnings to the beginning of our inaugural Dreamspace Dispatch season. We've grown, we've learned, and we've created a space that we can all be proud of. Back in episode 1, everything felt a little experimental, a blend of hope, nerves, and a deep desire to make something true in a world that moves too fast. I didn't know if anyone would listen, let alone care. I just knew I had to make the space, even if my voice shook. And now I am so proud of how far we've come. We found a rhythm. We've built a real, living archive full of poems, rants, rituals, freelance reflections, boundary setting, and the little joys that keep creative life afloat, like the feeling of a pen gliding on paper, the satisfaction of a well-crafted sentence, or the joy of a reader's feedback. But it wasn't always easy. Some weeks the brain demons were louder than the spark. I had to scrap entirely written episodes more than once. Self-sabotage snuck in, questioning the value of my work and my ability to continue. Who cares about any of this? Why bother recording? Nobody will miss it if you stop. Do I even have something to say worth hearing? You're not enough for this kind of work. Why do you keep going at it so hard when it's so difficult and taxing? That's what I call brain demons. The inner wolves gnawing at the doors of every artist, every solopreneur, every neurodivergent, chronically ill, or marginalized maker, trying to carve a space for themselves. But here's the thing. Every time I showed up anyway, especially when it was hard, something shifted. The spark didn't always roar, but it didn't go out. That little act, choosing to create, choosing to try, even when my brain said no, that's the work that matters most. So, what have I learned? That showing up imperfectly is better than not showing up at all. I've also learned that boundaries are a lifeline, not a luxury, and that the world needs only what I can bring, what you can bring, even if you are the only one who sees it at first. And most importantly, I have learned that making things, writing, podcasting, sharing stories, is not just about leaving a mark. It's about leaving a light on for yourself, for the next creative, for whoever wanders in from the dark. So if you're here listening, you're part of that light. Let's keep carrying it together. Now let's talk about the business side of things, because the dream space isn't just a cloud of ideas. It's also how I pay the bills. Buy Monet's treats, keep the lights on, and food in the pantry. This season I learned a lot about creative work as a real job, again, after 10 years away. And the truth is, freelancing isn't easy. It wasn't easy then, it isn't easy now. There are weeks when the invoices are thin, the projects are tedious, and it feels like you're shouting into the void. I understand these struggles, and I want you to know that you're not alone in them. But I've also learned that creative survival is about so much more than the hustle. It's about valuing your time, setting boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable, and believing in the worth of your voice. It's about knowing when to accept a project just because you believe in the cause, and when to walk away from opportunities that would only lead to burnout. You have the power to make these decisions and prioritize your well-being. This year, I found myself saying no more often, and saying yes to rest, to joy, to passion projects, even when that felt scary. I learned that sustainable, creative work isn't built on burnout. It's built on boundaries, community, and stubborn belief in the worth of your words. If you're freelancing, just starting out or dreaming about it, here's what I wish I'd known. You get to choose what work you accept and what you let go of. Boundaries don't make you difficult. They make you sustainable. There will be hard weeks, but the spark always returns, especially if you protect it. You can create art and sustain yourself. You don't have to burn out to do either. That's what I'm carrying forward into next season, and I hope you will too.
Hola Dreamspace amigos! It's Felipe, your rainbow-armored snack-loving armadillo, reporting in from the archives with a little end-of-season wisdom. And maybe a crumb or two stuck in my whiskers. If you've been following along, you know I love digging up hidden gems, old posts, overlooked topics, or simple tricks that make your creative world run smoother. For the season finale, here's a low-effort, high-impact tip I wish every writer and creator knew. Snackable strategy. Don't fear the categories. Whether you're blogging, building a portfolio, or just organizing your notes, categories are your friends. Think of them like labeled burrows. Each one keeps your ideas from getting lost in the wilds of the internet. Too many tags? It's like having snacks scattered everywhere. You'll never find the one you need. One clear category per post? You'll always know where to forage for what you're hungry for next. Here's how you can use categories right now. Give each big project or series its own category. Dreamspace Dispatch, portfolio highlights, grocery scrolls, etc. Use categories, not just tags, for major themes like creative process, freelance tips, or pantry psalms. Want a snackable SEO boost? Clean, clear categories make it easier for your readers and the search engines to find the good stuff. So next season, try a little Felipe-style organization. Make a category for every constellation of work. And remember, no one ever regretted making their snacks easier to find. See you in the stacks. Felipe the armadillo with a glittery wave and a belly full of knowledge.
Dear future me, if you're reading this, you're probably deep in the thick of it again. Doubting, circling the drain, listening a little too closely to those brain demons who tell you to quit, that it doesn't matter, that nobody's listening, but here's what you need to remember. You've made it through this before. You have kept the spark alive, even when the world felt dark and every step forward felt like carrying a mountain on your back. You've kept making things, especially when it was hard, because that was the only way through. Creation is not just expression, it's resistance. Every poem, every story, every little spark you send into the world, even if it's only read by you, is a way to carve out space where joy and possibility can live. This is how you fight the tide of burnout, erasure, and good enough. You make because you must. You make because the world needs soft rebellion and gentle persistence. You make because on the days when you cannot change everything, you can change something, and that's enough. So to everyone listening, whatever you're making, however small or messy it feels, it matters. You matter. Even when the world is loud, even when your mind is loud, keep going. Your work is your light. It's your lantern, your map, your proof that you existed and dreamed. And you, yes, you, are not alone in this. We carry these words together with love. Niki, and every version of me that almost gave up.
Dear friends, it's Thimble here, your not-so-secret raccoon courier, writing this letter with a paw full of gratitude and, let's be honest, a little jam on my whiskers. This season, I carried more messages than ever before, words of hope, scraps of poetry, gentle reminders, and the occasional raspberry tart. Some days I was a little messy, some days a little lost, but every time I delivered a letter, I found myself reminded the act of carrying is as sacred as the act of writing. Thank you for letting me scamper through your stories, your inboxes, and your hearts. Thank you for making room for oddballs and outliers, for quiet voices and new beginnings. Thank you for building a dream space where every lantern matters, even the ones that flicker. Next season, I'll be here with more letters, more spark, and probably more snack-related metaphors. But for now, I hope you rest well, tend your creative gardens, and know that you're never alone on this wild path. With soft paws and the tiniest lantern, Thimble.
As we close this season, I want to leave with you a simple invitation and a challenge. Looking back on this year, what's one creative risk you took or wish you had? What's one thing you want to try, change, or create in the season ahead? Maybe it's starting that essay you've been putting off, submitting to a publication, drawing your first comic, or just allowing yourself to rest when you need it. Whatever your answer is, I hope you'll share it with us. Here in the comments, by email, on social media, or on our forums. Your story, your spark, might be the lantern someone else needs to see. And if there's a topic, question, or dream space idea that you would love to hear about next season, let us know. This space is for you just as much as it is for me and everyone here at the Dreamspace. So here is to creating bravely, especially when it's hard. Thank you for walking this path with us through every spark, every struggle, and every moment of gentle rebellion. Whether this is your first episode or your 12th, you are the reason this dream space exists. If you enjoyed this season, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, or share with a friend. Your support helps us to keep the lanterns lit. We'll be taking a short rest, but the Dreamspace Dispatch will return for Season 2 with new stories, reflections, and creative experiments, and, of course, more letters from Thimbles, tips from Felipe, and more hearts to heart from Sol. And in December, don't miss our 5-episode mini-series, A Christmas Carol, read aloud, one stave a day leading up to Christmas. So it begins on December 21st. at the usual time. It is a tradition revived from my Twitch streaming days and a gift from our dream space to yours. And until then, keep writing, keep dreaming, and remember, the work that you do and the light that you carry matters. Keep your pen sharp. Use it with intention and keep writing. Take care, and from all of us here at the Dream Space, me, Felipe, Sol, Thimble, and Monet, we'll see you soon. Bye.